Phil, we watched a movie called Project Hail Mary this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ready to talk about it? You want to just get into it? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Who wants to go first? You want to go first? I'll go. You can go first.
Bro, this movie, I knew it was going to be pretty good, but this movie was really good.
Whoa.
Like, really good.
Whoa.
Like,
Who would have
I
guessed?
Like, I knew the first thing I was thinking about, even when I saw the trailer, even when I was hearing about it, was the cinematography is probably going to be really good. Like, really good. And it was really good, but what I didn't expect even more was the story was really drawing me in. And that's obvious because Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are just like geniuses when it comes to
Geniuses. Also, weirdest portfolio, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, big time. But like, I was so impressed with the comedy. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was going to be. I was very impressed with the relationship between Ryland Grace and Rocky. And I just love the space scenes. I really love the space scenes. But this movie, a lot of my friends were telling me before I even watched it, like, this is definitely like gonna be their favorite movie of the year, and it's definitely like a 10 out of 10 for them, and I believe it for them. I'm not saying I'm giving it 10.
You're not ready for that night yet.
I'm not ready for it yet. I gotta watch it again, but I'm just gonna say I love this movie. What about you?
What's your number score?
Oh, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. A high 8 out of 10.
Whoa, okay.
High.
Okay.
I want to give it a 9. I'm very good.
I think this might change after
I'm
this
at like
conversation.
an 8.8 or 8.9 right now, but I'm leaving it at a very high 8 out of 10.
Okay. I watched Project Hail Mary. Hail Mary. Not a football movie, by the way. It's not a football movie. This is about space. I watched Project Hail Mary, and going in, similar to you, I was expecting it to be good. Actually, no. Difference between me and you is you expect it to be pretty good. I kind of went in knowing it was going to be insane. So, like, my expectations were really, really high for it going in, especially looking at the Letterboxd score. I have it pulled up right here. 4.4 out of 5 stars right now on Letterboxd average. And while I don't think it blew me away, it's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me, hands down. It's a more wholesome Interstellar, and I wasn't ready for that, like, at all. It made me emotional. The music was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yes, surprisingly funny, and I should have expected that considering the directors made 21 and 22 Jump Street, but I didn't think about that going in. It was really funny. I love the relationship between Rocky and Ryan Gosling's character as well. The space scenes were incredible. Let's give a shout out to the editing, by the way. I think the way they were able to jump between the past and what was happening currently was incredible. They also play with the aspect ratio, right? That's the term. Yeah, aspect ratio, where when normal it's widescreen, and then once it's in the space scenes, they go full on like IMAX cameras, which was really cool. I just thought the movie was absolutely phenomenal, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to talk about it right now.
Yeah, speaking of the aspect ratio, I was kind of noticing that because my question I had in my mind even before the movie started was every single time I go into the theater, movies playing in the whole widescreen, trailers, everything. Before the movie started, everything was playing a little smaller. Like Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer comes up, smaller. Dune 3 trailer comes up, smaller with like black around it. I'm like, why is that? Did they not fix the camera? When the movie starts, it's squared a little bit, but then it expands, and I went, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, usually it's because of the kind of camera they're using.
Yeah.
So for a lot of the past scenes, they'll use like any scene that is not in space, essentially. They're using probably a more traditional like camera setup. I could not tell you the like actual terms or anything, but I knew going in that for the space scenes they used like crazy IMAX cameras. That was the goal. That was the plan, and you can tell because whenever it's like the square with the black borders, and then once it cuts to space, it like full screens, and I'm like, whoa, chill out.
So beautiful, man.
Did you see how this movie didn't use any green screens or blue screens?
I saw that and I was kind of curious because I was like, I mean, was Ryan Gosling actually in space, or were they using that one screen that they used for the Batman or something?
I think a lot of it was practical effects, I would assume. I don't know. Tyler, do you know anything about how it was filmed? Because they were like, for a lot of the scenes, especially where like the colors got crazy, they didn't use any green or blue screen. Okay, I need to look into it. I meant to and I forgot to because I keep seeing everyone talk about that, and I'm like, then how did this movie get made?
I'm just gonna say they used magic.
Magic, sure.
I'm just gonna say
it felt like magic.
Movie magic.
Movie magic.
Which is why you guys should go check this movie out. I'm just saying that for now, but we're still gonna talk about it because I love it.
What did you think about this movie taking a more wholesome approach? Because I think Interstellar is very dark.
Yes.
Like, it gets really sad and it's very serious, and you're just like, dude, this movie was funny and really sweet, like, the entire time, you know?
I think that got me more into the movie because don't get me wrong, I love Interstellar, but I think like as serious as it is, at a lot of times in Interstellar, it was a little bit too serious for some points where I kind of just wanted the moment of like, hey, we're in space. This is super
Let's
cool.
have fun, you know?
And
yeah.
that's what you get at the beginning of this movie with Ryan Gosling. Like, I know he didn't feel that, but I felt it when he wakes up and he's just like, no, don't touch me. Another human? Let me check. What is this? Cool, weird room, whatever. And it's just, it was so fun to get Ryan Gosling waking up, trying to get his body working, and then us touring his space
shuttle.
I don't know, his spaceship thing.
Yeah.
And it was just nice to get like acquainted with it. And so the rest of the movie, because then, you know, we find out he doesn't really know who he is. Mm-hmm. And there comes the first edit with him going back to the classroom. And I thought that was nice because then you have some funny scenes with him. The earth is lava, throwing it around, talking with the kids. And then after that gets recruited to do research on, what was the thing called? Amoebos?
I wouldn't know.
Amoebas? I don't know. The little water thing that was ruining the sun cells, I think. I don't know. But it was cool, like, getting into that and feeling, or getting that silliness from Ryan Gosling. Another funny thing about it, too, is Christopher Miller and Phil Lord's, like, I'm starting to get a sense of how they do their comedy and writing when it comes to it. Because I've seen a lot of their movies, like, I believe you said 21 Jump Street.
21 and 22 Jump Street.
Okay.
Lego Movie.
Love those.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yep.
Those are the movies they've specifically directed. They've produced a lot of movies, too.
But I've seen all of those, and I love that type of comedy. Like, whenever I see Phil Lord and Christopher Miller doing something, that is me. Like, that is my type of comedy, because it definitely showed in this. Ryan Gosling, there were so many times, like, I feel like that Nope, like, type of thing is dumb, because you've seen him across Spider-Verse, you've seen it in the Lego Movie, you've seen it a lot of times in their other projects, and, like, their comedy just flows with whatever they do, and it really shined in this movie. Like, really shined, and I was very impressed.
I want to, do you want to take, so this movie split up into two separate things, past and then space stuff. What do you want to talk about first? So we can break down both and kind of like talk about how he felt about each.
Well, overall, how did you feel about that editing technique?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was never confusing. I never felt like I wasn't following, because it did a really good job of, okay, here's some of the space stuff. Here's what he's developing. Here's what's going on with him and Rocky. And then a transition of, okay, here's how we got here. And I really liked that sort of split between the two, because whenever I felt like, okay, like I'm starting to get a little bored, or hey, I need to change of scenery, it would change just like that, you know? Yeah. So I never felt like I was sitting on something for too long. I felt like there was always something new and interesting getting revealed, or like a cool, like, moral discussion happening, you know?
That was another cool thing. How did you like the scene transitions when they'd have the camera tilted, because when he was in space,
yeah,
like, to the side.
I thought it was a cool touch.
They would show the Earth side and they'd turn the camera back up.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool touch. Cool. Yeah, I really liked that too. I want to talk about some of the visual stuff with the space things. Let's just go spoilers for the movie, just so we can kind of talk about it a little more freely. So they go to the galaxy Tossetti, which I thought was really cool, little space stuff. But specifically, they go to a planet. What was it called? Adrian. Yep. They named it Adrian. And it looked so pretty, dude.
Yes.
Just the green and I love space movies like that purely. And I just like space stuff in general, because I like how so many people are able to understand how pretty space is. Yeah. I think we can all look at space and be like, yeah, that's pretty scary, you know, just a whole lot of nothing going on.
Yeah.
But like when you're able to capture really its beauty, I think there's something really fun about that, because I think around all that darkness and scariness of floating in space aimlessly, there's also all that really cool, pretty visual color stuff you can do. And this movie does that hands down. So just Planet Adrian already looking awesome. And then when he uses the whole, like, I'm just going to say amoebas, because I don't remember what they're called, but the amoeba, astrophage, thank you. The astrophage thing. The camera that was able to like capture it, and then the whole screen goes all red and pretty.
Gosh.
I thought that was freaking awesome looking. And I was like, dude, heck yeah. I remember just having a really big smile on my face, because I'm like, this is a freaking movie.
That was the most beautiful scene I've seen in a while. Like, if I'm being for real, that was just so beautiful, so well shot. And I loved, I'm just going to say Grace. I loved his, like, narration or even his moment in that, like what he's talking about, how he's feeling, and then even Rocky in the background going like, "What's going on? I can't really see anything." He's like, "I'm just having a moment."
Yeah.
That was so good, bro. And maybe
So
it's just
good.
because I'm still coming off that high of watching Hoppers, and there were those such good like nature scenes when they're just standing still and like looking at everything
Admiring,
around.
yeah.
So going from that to this, oh man, that was beautiful.
So good. Let's talk about Rocky. Let's talk about the GOAT. Can we be honest? He made that movie. He made that movie infinitely better because, quite frankly, I love Ryan Gosling to death. Once Rocky showed up, I was laughing so hard. And I think what's so good is Rocky doesn't show up till a good bit into the movie, actually. I didn't check time, but what I would assume is probably like good 30 minutes into the movie, 40 minutes into the movie, he kind of shows up. And I think what I loved about that so much is it really shows you how lonely Ryan Gosling is stuck on this ship by himself. So that when Rocky shows up, everyone is kind of feeling the exact same thing Ryan Gosling's feeling of, oh my gosh, another person. Like, I finally someone he can talk to, this is awesome. And it kind of broke that loneliness that I was feeling watching it, where I'm just like, man, like, where is this? Like, I'm so curious where this is going to go. And once Rocky shows up, the entire vibe of the movie changed. It's now, instead of just a Ryan Gosling trying to figure out what to do, space stuff, whatever, it's kind of like a buddy cop movie. Oh, yeah. Him hanging out with this other rock guy and they're doing science stuff and they're hanging out and having a good time. But he was also just so funny. He was so funny. Every time they're trying to learn a new word for something, and specifically the naming, where he was like, hey, what's your name? And it's just like this long, drawn out noise. I was laughing so hard. Quite honestly, I think I was laughing a little louder than I should have in the theater. You ever react to something more than other people are? Yep. And you're just like, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. There's a joke. I was talking to my brother about this because I was trying to get him to remind me what the joke was. I still don't remember it. But Rocky does say something, and Ryan Gosling has a really funny response. And I laughed really hard. No one laughed. And I literally went quiet. I looked at Anthony. I was just like, my brother. And I was just like, I was like, sorry. I just thought it was really good humor. And you're right. I think Phil Lord and Christian, their humor, it just works for me too. Yeah. I'm very easy to make laugh. I kind of laugh at a lot of things, but their humor is just so fast. It just goes. It's very, I feel like, riff based, where you and a person are just kind of talking and things just kind of happen that are funny. And I really like that.
I love it, man. I was just like you. I was just very impressed with the comedy, and I think the way I knew how this was gonna go was instantly when Ryan Gosling was trying to take control of the ship and was trying to fly away from his ship.
Oh, yeah.
He kept following him, and I was just like,
nice.
Thinking about it now, I'm like, dang, Rocky must have been really lonely that he kept following that ship around.
Poor guy.
Instead of being scared, because they were both the same person. I'm just like, dang, so Grace is trying to get away from him, and Rocky's over here like, hey, I'm right here. Hey, throws a sticking artifact at him. Open it. I could just tell that's what he was doing. Tapping on the glass. Open it. I can see that.
I like when he does the point too, and he's like, "Oh, you're not." That was really good.
Die. He was like,
what did you think of Okay, sorry. Did this movie make you emotional?
Yes.
Did you cry?
No.
Phil, do you cry in movies?
Not really. The only movie that almost made me cry was A Little Princess.
Did you watch Iron Claw?
Yeah.
That didn't make you cry?
Almost did, but I didn't.
Whoa.
I was close.
Okay, I'm a very emotional person when I watch movies. I cry very easily. Not like my hands. I like tears will be falling out of my eyes, and I'm just sitting there like a man, just slow tear on my.
You're sitting there like.
Yeah, there's very few movies where I've walked out feeling like a mess.
Yeah.
Where Logan, I walked out and I was a freaking mess. I was 11 years old. My entire life was shattered in front of me. Iron Claw actively ruined my Christmas. It killed the vibe of the entire holidays. I cried so much watching that movie. This movie I went in, I think, expecting to cry, so I didn't. But I still got pretty emotional. Yeah. I got really connected to this dang rock and Ryan Gosling. Quite frankly, I got connected to them more than Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. They have way more chemistry. This rock and Ryan Gosling.
You just don't like Stone.
No, and that's not to disrespect La La Land and Emma Stone, a movie I freaking love to death. Ryan Gosling and this damn rock have so much chemistry. It was insane. Yeah, I got really emotional, but just to spoil a big scene in the movie that I want to talk about with you is when he gets hit and he's like, Ryan Gosling is pretty much about to die. Yep. And Rocky breaks out of his thing and drags him over to like the bed to get him healed. I'm so happy. And it's actually funny enough, similar to the Hoppers thing, where you now can't understand what they're saying, but you know exactly how they're feeling.
Yep.
And the way he was just like freaking out. Oh my gosh. I was like, please stop. And then you see him spazzing on the floor, like tweaking out. And I was like, can you stop showing this to me? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?
To have you feel exactly the way you feel.
Exactly,
now,
right? Phenomenal scene. And I thought all of that sequence was great, leading up to even like Ryan Gosling like sleeping next to him and being like, don't worry, buddy, like I'll watch you. Because their people need to watch each other while they sleep because they sleep too long. Come on, man. That's so sad. Good, that's so sweet, you know? And when he finally, I actually thought he was dead. I gave in.
I did too.
I fully believed it. I was like, yep, that's it. This movie sucks. It's the worst movie ever.
I was thinking, low key, if he did die, I would have been like, so he gets to go back home to them people that put him in a coma.
No, for real. For real. I was
literally going to be so, all right, here's how it broke out. So, newsflash. Rocky's alive.
Yay!
And then, bro, honestly, that was probably my favorite non-hug that was a hug ever in a movie, man. Like right when Grace wakes up and just goes, I literally felt that. That's why I literally almost cried. That was the scene that almost made me cry.
Wow.
That was the scene.
That's what got Phil. We'll get
I literally
Phil
right there when he just went straight into him.
Wow.
And then like before, because I love the scene where he just gives him a hug because he's like offering to give him fuel, and he's just like, "What is this? What are we doing?" And he's like, "It's a hug." What do we stop. Do? He just raises his body up like, yeah. So then right when the second hug happens and Rocky just, without any thought, just goes, I was like, oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Is this the best relationship we've seen in the movie?
Yeah. No, for sure.
Is this the best one?
Yeah, for sure.
What beats it? If you could choose
in this movie or in any movie?
Any movie. What relationship beats this movie?
Wally and Eva in Wally. It's the single greatest love story in cinema history. I stand on that wholeheartedly. Screw the robots.
Rocky and Grace.
No, it's a fantastic.
It's about Rocky, Grace, and Adrian.
It was perfect. And can I be honest? And this is where I want to talk about some of the past stuff. Mm-hmm. I think once Rocky gets introduced, I care less about like the past stuff. Because I'm just like, please let me just get back. Yes. Where at the beginning, I loved a lot of his story of him in the classroom and then him getting roped into all this government stuff and then him hanging out and like with all the people and whatever. I thought it was all great. But once Rocky gets introduced, every time they cut away, I'm like, no, bring me back, you know? But
I'm going 9 out of 10.
Even just, yes, we got him. Let's go. We did it. It always happens. It always happens.
I'm remembering everything and I'm just like, oh.
I do want to briefly talk about the past stuff before we move on. Really good still. I think hands down it was really good. I think it moves at a very different pace where it kind of feels a little bit more slow and then just now things are going, you know? And I liked it because I think it has some of the best bits in the movie, especially early on. I think of Ryan Gosling and the like, what do you call him? He's from The Bear. I know that. Like I always forget the actor's name.
You're talking about Lionel Boyce, who was Carl.
I loved them hanging out at Home Depot, just like rolling the things and doing all the weird science stuff. I love stuff like that. Like science montages are so fun when they figure stuff like that. When they're all just eating candy the whole time, made me want to eat candy. That's all I'm saying. I loved a lot of that stuff, and I liked. A great scene is when he goes into the government office, or he goes into the big meeting and he's sitting there and he's like, what's going on? And he like talks into the mic. Thought it was so good. But I don't think this is the same scene because I wanted to bring up a joke, but I don't think it's that scene. I'm sorry. I'm jumping all around right now. Do you remember the scene when he's talking about how he doesn't want to get on the ship? And like, he's like, I'm really scared of like, I could never get on a ship. I'm scared of like this thing. And then the pilot is like, well, don't worry. I mean, that thing's not going to be on a spaceship. Do you know what I'm talking about? That
thing's not going to be on a space. Are you talking about when the astronauts find out that they are going to die?
Yeah. Exactly.
They want to die?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the exact scene, but there's a specific instance where he's talking about how much of a coward he is. And he's like, dude, I can't even do this. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. I thought that bit was so funny with the pilot. I liked a lot of the side cast. AT&T girl, for some reason, is in this movie, and I was like, that's funny. But also, yeah, I noticed it. I was like, that's AT&T? That's pretty cool. She's an actress now. But, I mean, she was always an actress. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But regardless, I was like, that's cool. I liked all of that stuff. But, again, dude, I think the Rocky and Ryan Gosling relationship just kind of outshines everything that those bits were doing. After a certain point, I'm just like, dude, I'm all in on this. So, but what'd you think of the explosion leading into him inevitably getting onto the ship? What'd you think of all that?
Are you talking about the scene?
Yeah, in the past, when the big building explodes and they lose a bunch of their people.
Bro, that took me out because I was wondering, why did they just go, joke's on you, you're actually going to be on the ship because you're the smartest guy we have? I was thinking, is that how it's going? But right when that spot blew up, I went, oh, so he has to go on the ship. And in my mind, I was thinking, that's probably the scientist. And then right when they admitted it, I went,
yeah.
So did he volunteer? And right when he says, no, I don't want to do it. Can I think about it? You have 3 hours. I went, he doesn't want to do it. And so right when you find out that he never wanted to do it and they put him in the forced coma, I went, yeah, bro, I'm not returning to Earth.
You know,
I literally said that in my head. I'm like, I'm not going back.
I think this probably isn't true at all, but something me and my brother talked about is like, do you think they exploded the building on purpose? Because he was the only one that was going to be able to figure it out. I don't think that's probably actually true. I like that theory. That's a very like government shady thing to do because you're like, hey, these scientists have not really figured out anything. You've kind of done most of the work. So why wouldn't you come on the ship? And that was the only way they could really convince him. But also they could have just knocked him out anyway and did it. So it's probably not really what happened. But I think him getting knocked out and all that stuff was really sad.
It really was.
That was really sad. Like hit, but also kind of funny. When he's on the counter and he's like trying to get around them, he's like, nope.
When she says like, you don't have any family, not even a pet, I went,
yeah, dude, poor guy.
Like you anymore.
Yeah, no, what the heck was that?
I was like warming up to, what's her name? I was warming up to Stig and Ava, and then right when she said all that, I was like, I don't like you no more. You know what? I would have gotten mad myself if I was in a position. I was like, you know what? Put me in space right now. Bet I won't save y'all.
Dude, I mean,
bet I won't save y'all.
Like, even just him on the floor screaming, like, please don't, please don't. Like a kid freaking scared of getting a shot, bro. Yep. Like, that was so sad. Genuinely so sad. And freaking Carl doing it, too. What are you doing, bro? Y'all played bowling in the Home Depot. What are you doing?
Man, y'all had Skittles.
Yeah, dude.
That
was rough.
They lucky they didn't send me up there. I would have been like, you ain't getting this. You ain't getting this astrophage.
Yeah, no, you're not getting it.
You forced me on this ship. I'm going to his planet. I'm going Rocky. I'm chilling.
What'd you think of the ending?
Oh, so heartwarming.
So good, right?
So heartwarming. When I find out that he lives, and then when I see him walking, at first I thought they just found their own planet, but then the more I'm thinking about it, and then when he says that word, he's like, can you tell them to like maybe switch up the temperature to the water? It's a little cold. I went, oh, he's living with Rocky! And I got so happy, because at first I was like, damn, he's in heaven right now.
He's dead.
Damn, he's dead. But then I saw the little robotic thing, and I was like, where is he? And I was like, and then so when he goes over and he's teaching the little rock kids and stuff, and he's like, any questions? I was like, bro, never go back.
I hope he stays. I hope he ends up staying. Probably Hail Mary 2. Hope it never happens. But yeah, phenomenal movie. I really enjoyed the ending too. I thought it was perfect way to end that movie. Yeah. I will say before we close, nothing's going to beat, at this point, I don't think anything's going to beat 28 years later too, the Bone Temple. Because I put it on my Letterboxd list and I was like, dude, is this better than the Bone Temple? No, because I can't stop thinking about that movie still to this day. That's true. So I wanted to ask, is this your movie of the year so far?
It's my movie of the year so far.
Okay.
It is. And I just gave it a 9 out of 10. I got to.
You got to, yeah. Bone Temple is still mine. I'm still waiting for the thing to dethrone it. I think the thing that will end up dethroning it is whatever I give a 10 this year, where I'm just like, this is the definitive, this is what you should all be watching.
I know what's going to beat it.
K-Pop Demon Hunters 2.
In 4 years.
In 4 years. But yeah, anything else you want to say on Project Hail Mary?
Bro, please go watch this movie. Please, like, this movie was so good. It's way better than good. It's fantastic. And if you have a chance, and I'm not even joking, if you have the chance to watch this in IMAX, go watch it in IMAX.
I didn't watch it in IMAX, but you should do it.
I didn't watch it in IMAX, but I just know.
You just know it's probably insane.
I literally was thinking the whole time, this movie, I wish I saw this in IMAX. Yeah. I wish. But go watch the movie. Standard, IMAX, 4D, whatever you want to do. Just watch it in theaters.